One summer's evening in July 1986, a young man and his wife were travelling in a car down a country lane when they were suddenly confronted by a giant metallic sphere hanging a few metres off the ground in front of them. They stopped the car and stared at its greyish metallic lustre. Then the radio channel they were listening to lost signal and started making a fuzzy sound. The inside of the car started to get very warm, and soon the windows began to steam up. Suddenly, a large-fingered hand slammed hard onto the outside window screen. Through the steamy windows they could also make out a large oval-shaped head. The hand stayed pressed to the window for about a minute, and the car began to violently shake. When the hand was removed, the car stopped shaking, and the windows began to clear of steam. The man and woman watched through the windscreen as an enormous being walked back towards the giant metallic sphere. It seemed to be clad in pale green, tight-fitting clothing, but the man and woman failed to get a good look at its facial features before it boarded the strange craft. All of a sudden, the craft started making loud droning noises, and a blue gas or smoke began emitting from it into the darkness surrounding them. Terrified, the woman screamed for the man to turn the car around. As they drove away at speed in the opposite direction, the man could see the UFO quickly gaining on them. So fast he thought that the craft would smash right into the back of his car. Fixated on the UFO, the man lost control of his vehicle and smashed head-on into a tree, killing him instantly and hospitalizing his wife, who later recovered to tell this story. On the 12th of November 1968, at about 4:30 p.m, a group of friends were packing up for the day after enjoying some clay pigeon shooting. They were in the Surrey countryside and it was getting dark. They had packed most of the equipment away when they saw 3 people in the nearby field. They appeared to be wearing skin-tight pale clothing, and when they saw the clay pigeon shooters, they began to approach them. It was then that one of the friends spotted a strange-looking aircraft a little further up in the field behind the pale-looking figures. It was hovering just above the ground and looked like an oval shape. As the 3 figures got closer, the friends noticed their faces weren't human, but more creature-like in appearance. Sensing something wasn't right, one of the friends quickly loaded his shotgun, took aim and fired at one of the ominous-looking figures. Almost immediately, a beam of red light was emitted from the strange craft. It hit the man who had fired the shotgun on his chest and he fell to the ground. As the friends rushed to help him, they saw the 3 figures quickly return to the UFO, which within seconds took off at high speed, shooting straight up into the air, humming like some sort of electrical appliance. Over the next few days, the man who was hit by the red light became ill. He suffered with headaches and nausea, eventually becoming bedbound with a high temperature. On the 3rd day of his illness, he passed away. Marks were discovered on his body like large red circular rashes, but his actual cause of death was left unknown. In November 1973, A young couple were waiting at a secluded country lane bus stop after visiting friends in the nearby village. It was around 10 p.m. and dark with lots of stars glistening in the sky. The woman cuddled into her boyfriend to keep warm, then gazed up at the stars before noticing a red light in the distant sky. It was moving steadily in their direction, and they both thought it must be a helicopter. The red light was soon upon them, but they could hear no sounds. All of a sudden the red light went out, and the numerous bright white lights hung above them about 20 meters in the sky, so bright they could not make out the shape behind them. Blinded by the lights, puzzlement gave way to fear. The couple started to walk away from the bus stop, but the lights followed them. Their footsteps quickened and soon began to run, heading back towards the village. They had covered about 20 meters when they looked back and saw a red beam shoot out from the UFO and hit the road behind them. They carried on running till they reached their friend's house. Thoroughly shaken, the young couple told their friends what had happened. Leaving the woman behind for safety at the house, the man and his friend went back out with a torchlight to investigate. As they approached the road near the bus stop, they could see the bright lights of the UFO slowly disappearing into the distant dark sky. The friend tried to reason with the man that it was probably just a helicopter after all. But as they walked back along the road, they came across a small crater the size of a car tire around the spot where the man saw the beam from the UFO hit the road.